If you want to reach out to any of the professionals that are on our show, though, you can always go to our facebook.com/Brashenomics. They're always there. You can hear their segments. You can comment, reach them however you want to. Interesting on that, though, Keith Kranc joins us. He's the president of Dominate Web Media. Now, Keith, you really work to help clients gain web exposure using social media and whatnot, and then even coach groups on this process. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Where do you see, within the realm of real estate, finance, one of the things you talked about before was it's the exposure. It's being able to find somebody, even if it's typing in the actual name, type it in Ben Brashen and making sure that the right Ben Brashen shows up if they're thinking about me for a mortgage. Is that really a big piece of social media now? Yeah,
it really is. We teach people, the most important part, in my opinion, in really taking advantage of social media and the whole online presence is really building yourself up as a credible and credibility, building your expert and authority status. So, because what happens is these days is people, the information's out there, so people can go anywhere to find out about you. So what do you do first thing when you're looking for somebody to help you with something or information? First thing you do is
you Google them.
You Google them and you find out.
Bing them. Right? I always forget. My wife works for Bing. I have to continually say that, or else who knows how long. I may need more hours on the radio.
Yeah, so today basically social media is almost for this type of professions that you're dealing with on the radio show. It's almost like a reputation management, because people need to realize that everything you do, and more importantly, conducting your business, so you always have a good reputation, because everything is out there now. So what I like to help people do is, help them become the expert, give away great information, teach people and about whatever your business is, and then they'll come back to you as a customer later.
And so, being able to build out creating these customers for life, I guess is, exactly. What I like to look at. Mm-hmm. A lot of it is even just sharing the knowledge, I think, that you have. Mm-hmm. We've talked a little bit about that, but when people are out searching for somebody, and you do this also, I think, with some of your other online marketing, but giving people, I guess what I would say is, as a consumer, it's a pretty good idea to find somebody who's out there when you're looking for a professional.
Yep.
Who's willing to just give you the information.
Right.
Because as you said, the information's everywhere.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So what happens is it's funny is like with my business, we do a lot of teaching, and it's crazy. Literally, I'll have, 1 to 2 to 3, sometimes every single day, somebody contacting me, whether it's through my website, whether it's through the phone number on my website, whether it's through just one of the forums, one of the social media channels, because asking us, can you build this for us? Can you build us a custom, whatever, landing page? Because we're teaching them how to do it. Say, we don't want to really learn how to do it ourselves. We'll just pay you to do it. So it's unbelievable with what, we've got people all over the world, literally, South Korea, South Africa, United States, contacting me because why? Not because we're selling services online, because I'm offering education, teaching people how to do it.
So as a consumer then, is that maybe one of those first things you should look at is, and it comes, I guess, in mortgage, real estate, financial planning. Are they willing to give away a little bit of this information, or are they going to play, hey, I'm behind the curtain and nobody sees what's behind me?
Exactly. And these days, one thing that we also specialize in is search engine optimization. So we help businesses show up at the top of search engines, show up at the top of Google, right? The first page. If you're not on the first page, it doesn't really matter, right? So but one thing we do know is that some companies, there's ways to it's called black hat, kind of game the system, where you can get a website to show up higher. Eventually, Google and everybody, they'll find out about it and you'll get knocked out eventually. But a lot of times, companies can show up at the top for a period of time when they don't really have great relevant information. So as a consumer, when you're searching, just because somebody shows up in the top 3 of Google doesn't necessarily mean it's the best information. Do a little research, do a little digging, there's a lot of other areas, go to Twitter, search.twitter.com where you can find up-to-date information. Go through that person's website, go to YouTube. Honestly, in my opinion, YouTube is probably one of the best places to really find out information out there about something. It's a lot easier to watch a video on how to do something than it is to read about it, so.
And and the amount of videos that are out there. I mean, we actually did. I was reading the other day, something like 200 billion videos are being watched a month.
That's unreal. Yeah. Yep. What is it? Every 60 seconds, there's let's see here. There's actually 24 hours of video uploaded on YouTube every 60 seconds.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And people are uploading it because that's also where people are looking. Yep. And then you were saying even, like that. I'm big on, we have our website. We do a lot of these things. And of course, I like to Google my own name and see where I show up. And it's interesting because there's certain things that show up that I'm like, oh, that's great. And then there's like, why is that there? Mm-hmm. I think that people, and we'll talk about this as a group also, because we'll go to break here in a few minutes and then we'll bring everybody back. But I think people still Google people before they go work with them. I think people can do a little bit of research, even just on the name. Mm-hmm. I don't know that it's so much of, I'm going to type in mortgage broker and hopefully, and then I'm going to show up there. But if somebody's like, hey, I might go get a mortgage through Ben Brashen, and they Google me there, it's nice for them to be able to kind of vet me.
Right. Exactly. Yep. And with these days, there's so many different channels that, it's great because if you do a little bit of research, you really can find out about that person that you might be doing business with, whether it's somebody in the financial services industry or real estate or mortgage brokerage, and if it's somebody that, if they're doing a good job of getting themselves out there and showing up everywhere, they're probably going to do a good job in the service that they're offering.
Well, it takes a lot of time and effort to get the content out there. I mean, that's what, just getting good content, teaching people what to do. Stacey Baldwin, who was just here a few minutes ago, she talks about, the first thing we do with a first-time home buyer, you got to teach them a few things. And people want to kind of get information without committing. Yep. And being able to give that information. I mean, it's got to be a big part of, hey, here's my network and here is what I'm willing to give them.
Yeah. And a lot of business owners don't really get it. They think, I can't give away all the information, then they're never going to buy anything from me. But it doesn't work that way. It absolutely doesn't work that way because what you're doing is you're building trust.
Well, and I mean, let's be honest, most people who think they're going to go create their own financial plan or do their own mortgage or buy their own house when they've never done it.
Right.
You don't just go do it. It's like, hey, here's a book on HTML. Go build your own website. It's just, you work with somebody who has experience who can actually guide you through the process and ultimately, get the job done. I think that's probably why you're seeing that in, with having your own Facebook stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, Keith, we're going to go to break, but we're going to keep you here. Stacy and Tom are going to come back and join us, and we're just going to talk a little bit more about social media as a whole. Thanks for listening. My name is Ben Brashen. We'll be right back. You're listening to Brashenomics.